new rooms and got into the antechamber and a bunch of stuff. But there's still about 1 million mysteries that we have no idea how to solve, so we're going to dive back in and start on day 7. We should start out with 4 gold coins, I believe, as our allowance for the day. I actually saw this spawn in here. Oh, now there's a note attached along with the allowance. Let's see what it says. Master Simon, good morning. It has come to my attention that you've been granted a daily allowance to use while on the estate. If it is convenient for you, I will leave the required sum here in the entrance hall each morning. If there's anything else you require, please do not hesitate to ask. Even though we've all been requested to remove ourselves from the premises during your stay, I can assure you that I am still personally overseeing that this estate is at least operating at a baseline standard of service that I hope you will one day come to expect of us. Anne Babbage, house manager. Okay, so she must be the one taking care of the hamster, I guess. And she's leaving allowance for us, so that's good. You know, there is something I want to do today. I want to start mapping out which... we still haven't kind of been able to verify it, but I suspect that the drawings that we see in some of the rooms are the same based on the grid cell that the room is drafted into. I don't know that, and there may be exceptions, like the drafting room doesn't seem to work that way, unless it's... maybe it does. There's that small... there's a small pair of cameos not on the wall. But it seems like this may be related. So, like, let's do something like this. Let me get started here. I'm going to show you what I'm working on. Okay, so we'll start with this. And we'll crop it down to just the blueprint, I think. We'll crop that. And then we'll make it a little bit bigger. Let's make it like 250%. There we go. That kind of works. Okay. And then we're down at the entrance hall, and I'm gonna try to now grab a screenshot here. Back to paint, make a new thing, and then let's grab these 2 pictures. Well, I guess let's do it like this. Right? And then grab these. And let's paste them here, so sort of like this. Hold on, let me actually make a new layer so that I can manipulate how these look. All right, so we'll put this in this square and kind of tell ourselves, we've always seen these here, right? So now I can adjust the brightness here and the contrast. Okay. Is there a way to... let's see. I think there's something like shadows in here. Yeah, here we go. I might be able to do something with shadows. And then make it even brighter. Okay. So like that would be what we've seen in this square. And I'm going to check this tomorrow tomorrow in game. But for now, let me save this as sketches. So the idea here is that I think these mean something, and I think they're tied to the grid cell and not the room, but I don't know for sure. So for the time being, I'm going to start working on trying to fill out the grid to see if this means something. And maybe we abandon this, maybe not. I'm not sure. But we're going to be doing that for today, I think. Okay. So things to think about. We want to get to the library because we requested a book. We're starting with 4 coins. I think what I want to do is keep working on like building stuff that I haven't seen before. So one of the rooms that we saw drafted but couldn't build was the attic, which required like 5 gems. So I think I might try to save up a bunch of gems and hope that we get that room at some point today. Let's go ahead and get started with drafting. Let's see what we can do. All right, so the den seems pretty solid here. Oh, I actually accidentally went north instead of east, but that's okay. Because we pick up a gem and have 2 exits here, so that's fine. Hey, Compboy100, welcome back to the channel. Good to see you again. I'm actually going to go in there later. Let me draft east instead here. All right, so we have a corridor. Corridor is always left unlocked, so it may be good to save this card for further north in the mansion. Which would mean we could either... I can't build the kitchen, so we'd have to build the breaker box here. But getting that built early is valuable. And we're kind of cut off from the east side here, though. But that's okay. You know what? I'm not worried too much about filling in every single grid square. All right, let's take a look in here. So there are no there are sketches in this room. Okay. So let me go back and do this again. Let me keep working on this idea I have. All right, so we're guessing that these go together, I guess. Christmas pine tree and pin. Pine tree and safety pin, maybe? It seems like they kind of start with the same letter sometimes. I'm not sure about that. But we think that maybe these 2 belong in this grid cell. Maybe. So I think it's worth making this just to see if we can get it to... Just to see if we can verify this idea. Let's do brightness and contrast. Let's do highlights and shadows. Like that. All right, so pine tree and pin maybe goes in that grid cell. I'm not sure. Could be wrong. But this is what I'm trying to do today, is to figure out if these things stick to the grid cells and if they mean something. Anyway, I guess I can just go back to the game here. I don't really need to switch the OBS tab. Anyway, let's turn the key cards off, gymnasium off. We'll have to come back to the dark room after we enter it and break it, I guess. Turn the garage on, and then we still don't really know about the vac indicators. There we go. No, I screwed it up. So red and blue. There we go. And then we can turn one of these to white, but I still don't know what that means. I've been choosing the first one. Eventually, hopefully, we figure out what it means, but until we get a better idea of what that's for, I don't know what else to do with that. Nothing else in here. Paint cans, pine trees, and safety pins, I guess. That's not something I can interact with. All right. Let's head west now. Let's draft another room. All right, so pantry, guest bedroom early seems like a bad choice. Storeroom's not bad. It does cut us off from a lot of the... We already have some coins. Let me get the storeroom here, and then we'll try to backtrack from the den. Okay. So there's our coin. We've got the prayer beads and the crowbar. I'm not sure. Again, I'm not sure if... Not sure what to do about that. I'm not sure if I'm naming these things correctly. Bar beads? I guess, yeah. I guess this could be bars and beads. It could be. All right, let's go ahead and try to write this down. Okay, so we've got beads. And then we've got the crowbar. Let's paste that here and rotate it and resize it and do something like that. Okay, so beads and bar. Maybe this is spelling something out. If you can figure out which letter they represent, maybe they're spelling something out. Could be. And that was here, right? Yeah, we're here in the storeroom. Okay. So let's pop that in here. And try and get that to look good. Brightness, contrast. Highlight shadows. So if this was a B, and then I guess these are cards, so this would be C, and this would be pines and pins would be P. I'm not sure what we're doing here, or even if these remain the same on subsequent days, but I want to check. So we're going to record a few of these. All right, back to the game. What have we picked up? We picked up our coin, our key, and our gem. And then we have this never changes. That's always there. All right. So up to the den we go. There's our gem. And then there should be some sketches in here as well. Yeah. All right. Let me check around and see, and just see if there's any other items that have spawned in. I don't recall ever seeing anything in here. No, nothing extra. All right, so we've got a bridge and a bride. I do think there's something where there's letters related, but I don't know how to interpret them really. Don't save, don't save. All right. So we got the bridge, and then we got the bride. I think I might be right about this. I think these might repeat based on the cell that you put the room in. So yeah, bridge and bride. That's another pair. And that was here, right? Yeah, okay. Wait, I need a new layer. All right, so bridge and bride. That looks good. I think I'm right about the letters, and I think I'm right about the repeats, but I don't know what it means yet. All right, but let's keep going here. Okay, so I want to head west and try and grab this room if I can. Let's start here. What do we got? Passageway costs 2 gems. I'd like to save that for later if possible. Bedroom is heading north. Parlor's heading south. So the only way, let's see. Unless we get a bunch of souths from over here, I don't really want to spend these gems. So I guess we'll go bedroom and hope we get something west and south over here. Otherwise, part of this blueprint is going to be blocked off for today. I'm not going to worry about it too much. But I want to make at least an effort. All right, so into the bedroom. It's free to traverse. Here we have, once again, this picture of this woman. I'm not sure who this is now, because I don't think this is our mother. She's got a different hairstyle and a different pendant. It might be her, But the picture we have of our mother that we know is Marion, she was wearing a swan pendant, not a moon pendant. So I'm not sure if this is the same woman with a different pendant or a different woman. Let's take a look around. There don't appear to be any items. But we do have stairs and stars. Yeah, okay, the pattern of these sketches is becoming clearer now. It's starting to come together. Which room are we in? To the left of the den? Okay. Stairs and stars. I wonder if I just put an S instead of going through all the, like, making copies of the pictures, but there might be additional meanings or something else of value in having the actual images. So maybe this is worth doing. I don't actually know yet. All right, so stairs and stars. Seems fine. Let's grab this. Stairs and stars, okay. And then we'll pop this into this grid cell and make it a little bit more visible. Which one was it? It was brightness contrast followed by highlight shadows. Okay, so we got stairs and stars there. Yeah, better take them for if you need it. Yeah, agreed, Compboy. I think that's, I mean, this game, it feels like this game is a game that requires the player to put in some work, right? It's not going to be, you're not going to have a journal where you can record everything for free. You either have to have a perfect eidetic memory or you have to put in the work to make something like this if you want it. Which is fine. But it does make for a little bit of a slower playthrough and a little bit of a slower stream. Like, you guys, I feel a little reluctant to do it just because I'm like, well, they're going to have to watch me mess around with an image manipulation program, an image editor. Is that worth doing? But maybe it's fine. It's not that long for each room. All right. I'm trying to save up gems for the attic, if possible. Let's see what we get to draft here. All right, so Nook is moving back into the center. Same with kitchen. It's like we're being blocked off from the edges of the estate for some reason. I don't think I go kitchen here. Like I said, I'm trying to save up gems. So we either go Nook. You know what? We have an exit to this square. I would like the key, but we could probably get another key. We'll probably see Nook again. So I guess I go spare room here. I don't have the compass, but we're not getting any south exits at all. Now, here's something interesting. This room doesn't have any sketches. So there's like no way to map out what would be here on the grid, I guess. Not from this room. There's no sketches anywhere in here, so we can't do it for this cell. All right. We'd very much like something heading left here so that we can get into this square. And then, yeah, it's gonna require some luck for us to fill in the west side here, but we'll give it a shot. All right, so there's the Nook. There's the pantry. Okay, we can definitely use the pantry here. Let's do that. There's a free apple for 2 extra steps. Some more coins. The same message as always. And here we have another pair of images. So we'd have to skip the spare room here, but we can get the pantry done. Let's try to do this. So what is this? This is... I'm not actually sure what letter this would represent, to be honest. This looks like a raincoat or maybe just a coat. But then I don't really know what this part is, this other image. Let me grab that. So that should go here, I think. Let me double check. Yeah. So that's going to go here. like this. Brightness, contrast, highlight, shadows. So it's like, I'm not exactly sure what this is supposed to be. Is it a cot? Maybe cot and coat? It could be cot and coat. I'm not really sure what this is. But I guess if we say that's a coat, maybe cot makes sense. So that could be a C, I guess. I don't know. I'm a little uncertain about that one. All right. All right, so we need something going south here. Hey, Pila, welcome back to the channel. Your hand got destroyed. What, did another dog attack you? Well, I'm sorry to hear it. I sort of feel like you're the unluckiest person I've ever met, Pila. All right, parlor could be... No, why is it rotating north? I don't understand. Why is it rotating north like this? It doesn't make sense. All right, so we're definitely blocked off from these 3 squares. Can't build anything on today's run. I should just let it go and move on. We haven't seen the garage in a while. And even though I'm saving up gems, I believe we turned the power on in the utility closet. So we would see something new here. We'd be able to open the garage door maybe and get to the west drive, which I don't think we've been able to explore. We don't have the spare keys to actually turn on the car. So I'm not sure what that's about, but I think we have to build this here. Plus we get 3 keys. Yeah, the power's on. Fantastic. All right, let's take a look around. First of all, 1, 2, 3. Then we can open the garage door. Nice. Okay. Anything else in here? What about sketches? Are there any sketches in the garage here? Yeah, there are some sketches here. Okay, we'll check those out in a second. Yeah, I don't think we've seen that part of the grounds before. We don't have the keys, so we can't actually get into the car, which sucks. But maybe we find them this day and come back. All right, regardless, let me print screen this. And that is going to be in this square. Okay, so we've got card and car, it looks like to me. Yeah, it looks like card and car. There's also some interesting music playing right now, which we haven't heard before. So, yeah. Beads and bar, B. Card and card, C. Pine and pin, P. Stairs and stars, S. Bridge and bride, B. Cot and coat, C. Card and car, C. Like, I feel like we're onto something here. I'm not sure what, but I feel like we are onto something. All right, I guess we should go explore the grounds here. We've got access to the west drive, which we haven't seen before. There's no audio? Wait, what? Oh, my bad. So I left it on desktop because I was traveling back and forth between the paint program. So I didn't change OBS back to game. Let me see if I can get audio output capture to work here. How do I do this? How do I add audio output capture? I'd have to, okay, so if I go to desktop and I add, no, I have to go to game and then copy, I think. Copy, desktop, paste, and then I put this below the desktop capture. No, I still don't have... Huh. How would I get... I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to get the audio output capture from the game capture over to the desktop display, so... Crap. I don't know how to do it. Alright, well, I'll just have to switch back and forth then. You guys can hear the music now, right? Swan Song. There is this trunk back here. Hold on, what is... I wish I had the magnifying glass. Is that a keyhole or a decal? I guess the magnifying glass wouldn't work because it's not a document. What is that, oil? I guess that's oil. All right, let's go explore the grounds. I'm assuming this is going to cost me a step. Let's cross the threshold and see. Yeah, okay. We've made it to the west path. Nice. Now, wasn't there... Was the palisade thing on the west side? I think it was. It's interesting that you can see the outside of the estate, too. Because it supposedly changes every time. I can't climb this. Okay. Man, I wish we had a shovel. I bet there's a bunch of dirt out here that we could dig up if we had a shovel. So we'll check that out later. Let's follow the main drive for now. Gonna take a look around. Okay, so this just goes to another set of gates, it looks like. Yeah, can't interact, can't pass through. All right. Let's go this way. Take a look around out here. You can't see inside because the rooms haven't actually been drafted yet. Oh, okay, I can't cross this river either. There is a little way to do it here. I can't get up on this embankment either. What about you, bush? You hiding a secret? No, no secrets in the bush. All right, let's cross the little stream. All right. Follow it wherever it goes. There's another little bridge there. Interesting, interesting. One thing I like about the game is that even though it's kind of slow and it's rationing out its content, like every run has something new. Every run so far, and granted we're still fairly early, but every run so far has had something new. Ah, interesting. So we have seen the other side of this door. Now I wonder if that's permanent. Oh, no. It has. Perfect. Okay, nice. The west gate has been permanently unlocked. Permanent changes do not reset each day. Fantastic. I was hoping that would be the case, but I wasn't sure. So that lets us go all the way back to the entrance hall from the garage. That's a fantastic shortcut. That's like 2 steps to get from where... So we could build a garage up here and take 2 steps to get all the way back to the entrance hall. I think. Or 3. Really, really nice. Okay, yeah, the game is very good about doling out little bits of new stuff and little bits of progress, and it's like, every day you make a little bit more, and I like the pacing so far. It's definitely a slow burn, but there is like a sense of progress for every run, which I really appreciate. There's no run where you're like, well, that entire hour that I just spent playing was wasted. I got nothing, I learned nothing. Like, I haven't really had that. I had the one run that was kind of bad, but even that had something new in it. All right, we got more grounds to explore across this second bridge here. What's over here before we cross it? I mean, I don't think it's the sort of game where there's going to be like one tiny little patch of ground hidden away where there's like a key secret that you just have, like, you know what I mean? I don't think it's that type of game, but I still want to explore just in case I'm wrong and there's like something in a nook or cranny. Okay, crossing the bridge did not cost a step. I wonder if there's anything carved on it. I haven't really been looking too closely at the trees, but they're all generic, so I haven't seen like a special tree. But I wonder if there could be like some initials carved somewhere that's like a clue to something. It's something I would have considered if I were making a game like this. Like, there's a difference between hiding something and just requiring the player to be observant. And noticing, you know, that's different. There's a carving there that's not on any of the other trees. Like, something like that, I feel like is okay. But you would also want to highlight it somehow. You'd want to put it near something like this stump. To kind of make the player investigate, rather than just one tree amongst 60, right? That's not as interesting. What about the bird bath? Anything here? No. All right, so what is this then? I can draft this? Oh, okay. All right, root cellar. Rooms in your house will be more likely to contain dig spots today. Hovel, special floor plan. Blah, blah, blah. Special floor plans now cost steps instead of gems. Or shelter. Shelter protects you from the negative effects of the next 3 red rooms drafted. Huh. Ooh, this one's interesting. We don't have a shovel, so it's not going to be root cellar. We know some ways to get more steps, but they're not a guarantee. What? Okay, so who's in the chat right now? It's just Compboy or Pila. I only see one concurrent viewer, so one of you left, I think. But if there's somebody in the chat who wants to comment, what do you think between hovel and shelter? If you're familiar with the game, if you've been watching the playthrough. This is interesting because gems are kind of hard to come by, but steps aren't exactly easy to come by either. This is interesting because we could build some of the red rooms without worrying about the negative effects like losing steps or coins, or like if we built the archives, we wouldn't have our plan hidden from us. If we built the gymnasium, we wouldn't lose steps going through it. If we built the weight room, we wouldn't lose half our steps from building it. Pila, you don't know anything about this? Okay. I kind of think I'm more interested in building, like, this might cut the run short, but it might let us build something we haven't built before. This would be nice. Huh. Also, since we unlock the gate, we can get out to this door and build these things at the start of every run, which is also really interesting. Okay, for today, I think we're going to try the hovel, just to see if we can get more special floor plans built. Let's take a look at the hovel. Okay, a squalid dwelling on the edge of the estate belonging to one of the groundskeepers. Counts as a bedroom, apparently. Let's see, is there anything secreted away in here? I notice, yeah, there's no sketches in here, which makes sense. Wow, why is there just a scattering of straw? Ooh, wow. Okay, whatever this is seems interesting. So 45 rooms, antechamber sealed, 2 starting rooms, 9 ranks, 2 wings. What does it mean by 2 starting rooms? 45292, and then blue, pink, purple, yellow. Coincidence. Where is room 46? 7590, tested my full house theory. No luck, as expected. So there's no reward for completely filling in the blueprint, I think is what that means. Which was something I was trying to do early on. This is an interesting piece. So whoever was in here was trying to figure out the house, I guess? What? Okay. Okay. Oh, so there have been other rooms in the grounds that we saw that we couldn't really get into. Actually, now that I have some keys, it might be worth checking those out. And when we turned on the gas here, all of a sudden that blue flame lit up. So presumably we want to light all the blue flames if we can. Oh man, this game is very cool. There's some really interesting stuff happening here. So many mysteries. And we picked up a tool now, an item. You found a garden-ready watering can. The first time you enter each green room, use water to gain 1 gem. Limited capacity, 3 drops. Okay. So by having this, we just get 3 free gems from green rooms. That's kind of a nice pickup as well. It's interesting that you don't just... They don't just give you 3 gems. They make it contingent upon some other activity. Oh, okay. This is Denny Ravain, who we've seen another notice about that he no longer works here. Yeah. Okay. Dear Mr. Ravain, your half-hearted dedication and maintenance of the grounds have been greatly appreciated. However, I regret to inform you that your services as the groundskeeper at Mount Holly will no longer be required, effective immediately. This decision has been made after careful consideration and is based upon repeated observations and documented instances of neglect in the performance of your duties. The state of the green rooms in particular has deteriorated significantly over the last few months, which reflects poorly on the rest of the staff. You are required to vacate the hovel by the 20th of March, ensuring all tools and equipment belonging to the estate are returned to the tool shed in good condition. Your final wages will be settled promptly upon completion of these instructions. We thank you for your time and service and wish you the best in your future endeavors. Anne Babbage, House Manager. I love the first sentence here. Your half-hearted dedication and maintenance of the grounds have been greatly appreciated. Like, lay it on thick, Anne. Why don't you? Okay. All right. So okay. I'm gonna spend. I can't remember everything we learned about the grounds, but I know there were a couple of other places that a key might have opened a door for me. So I'm gonna head out to the rest of the grounds before we go back in. We can also, yeah, this is a dead end anyway, so we don't need to go back in through the garage. We need to come to the den to continue building anyway. So yeah, let me take a look around. I don't remember, like I said, I don't remember all the details of the grounds, but I know there was at least one place, I think, that was a door that I potentially could have opened. I think this is the orchard over here, so... Yeah, we can't open that. That's the gate out of the estate. That's the camp. Yeah, here's one of the doors I was thinking of, but I don't think a key is going to help us. No. Okay. This needs power or something. And then the orchard over here, yeah. So... the only guess I have here is in the kitchen, which is kind of the only thing we know about fruit, there was a request for 5 apples, 5 oranges, 5 bananas, and then there were 4 coins left. So that doesn't work. Potentially, the order that they were in was apples give 2 steps, bananas give 3 steps, and oranges give 5 steps. And we had 4 coins. Yeah, I'm not 100% on this. Well, obviously, I'm not 100%. I'm not sure what. I'm not even really close to figuring this out. Let's take a quick look, though. Let me switch to the desktop here. Let's take a quick look at some of our clues and see if we can see anything that might be related to this. Okay. Cinca Eris. Basement key. Wait a minute. Green thumb? Yeah, there's nothing there. This is the image of the area that we're at. November 5th, maybe? But then that doesn't give us 4 numbers for the padlock. Reddington, Orchard. The Baron of Mount Holly names nephew provisional heir. That's Simon P. Jones. So none of this really looks like a padlock combination. I mean, this mentions trees. the sheets you find. A worthy trade. Maybe one of the numbers is 5, but we only have the one sheet, so I don't think that helps me. Yeah, please return all correspondences and packages addressed to Denny Ravain to sender. He's no longer employed. So that's the groundskeeper who got fired that we just read about. There's no fruit or food in this receipt, so I don't think this is helpful. Right, the Red Prince book details. I mean, I guess I could count the number of apples here, but that doesn't seem relevant. Here's the diary, the billiard balls. So we got pictures of the maids. I think one of them is named Mila. She's got a broom, she's got a duster. Other than that, I don't know much about these two. That's probably Mrs. Babbage. We think that's Mrs. Babbage. Maybe. Sitting at a computer in, I guess that's the office that we haven't built yet. Nothing to do. Yeah, see, and then there's this. We have this photo. But how does this help us get in here? Like, how does this help us open the padlock? Maybe if I looked at this with the, maybe if I looked at it with the magnifying glass, I bet that's what it is. I bet if I look at this with the magnifying glass, I'll actually see the combination. Well, it's a good guess. I don't know if it's right, but it's possible. It's plausible. Syncaco, the company that our great uncle Sinclair built his fortune on, his cameras. Somebody some butler, somebody assistant person that we don't know who it is. Oh, I bet I should use the magnifying glass on this too. I bet that would be important. Hey, D2Ta, welcome back to the channel, buddy. Good to see you. Yeah, I need to get the magnifying glass early and revisit some of these things. Mila has the broom. Aha, Mila has the broom. Also, that little crescent moon with the star in it, that's an important symbol. I don't know if that's the symbol of Syncaco or not, but Mila has the broom. Okay. So if we go back to this, I think that means this is Mila. Because she's the one with the broom, not the feather duster. So maybe we now can identify this person, just possibly. I never noticed that before. I could be guessing wrong that each of them has a different tool and that they're represented that way, but maybe. Don't know what that means. Nothing about the orchard there. This one I still don't understand. Like, this doesn't fit the pattern of having the same first letter. I'd have to get back to the kitchen and check. Clock and lock. Grandfather clock and padlock. Like, I'm not sure about that. We found the key card. By the way, if this is false, is it still a clue to the truth? Because we've seen that red memos are false. That's what we've been told. I suppose I should try this the next time I get to the safe. But if this is false, how does that help us? Is there some set of numbers that includes this number somewhere? And by knowing that this one's not it, we can then figure out what it is? Or like, do we put it in backwards or turn it upside down or something? I don't know what to do with this, but maybe next time we get to the safe, I'll try and remember to check this out. What else have we got? Yeah, there's this thing that we don't even know where we see these indicators or what they're for. That's a copy. I mean, 6, 7, 8, 9 is 4 numbers. I don't see what this would have to do with the padlock on the orchard, though. SKR 1809 Alice Drive, Fenairs 63022 63080. Yes, there are 2 safes. That's correct. Oh, maybe it'll help me figure out the drafting room. Maybe if I know that that's not the correct code for the safe in the draft room, maybe that gives me some kind of clue about how to interpret the rules. That is a really fantastic comment, D2. Thank you for saying that. Because now, the next time we go to the drafting room, I'm going to take that as a starting point for trying to figure that out. That might be really helpful. Thanks, dude. Okay. Something about the third time and Christoph. We know the password now. Punch clock has been disabled. This has nothing to do with fruit. We got the day off on, we got a sale half off on the 20th and 21st. We're only on the 7th day, so it's a ways there. And then this is another false memo. Maybe we should be trying to build the commissary to see when it's actually closed, to see if there's some other rule associated with red memos. Maybe there's a particular way that they're false. I don't know what to make of that yet. Chart and coal, maybe? I don't know what this is. We've seen this before. Then we've got, I took pictures of all the stuff in the book here, and that's the last thing. Okay, so yeah, we don't have a way, sadly, to the best of my knowledge, to solve the padlock right now. I think I need to use the magnifying glass on that picture, and I think if we do that, we might actually see the code. But I might be wrong about that. Also, was there anything at my camp last time? I can't remember. I can't remember if there was an item. I think there was a document, but not like an item. Oh no, I can just, oh, that's right. There was the little blue bird guy. Huh. Yeah, there's nothing I can take from here. Okay. So that means we got to go down the steps and see if there's something we can open down there. I think there was one more door. Or no, maybe this is where we saw the thing light up, the blue flame. Yeah. Here's where the blue flame lit up from the pipe. Okay. So getting into the hovel lit that up. What would lighting all of these do, though? Maybe there's only the two. Because that pipe obviously goes to the hovel, so where does this pipe go? Oh, this isn't a door I can open with a key. It's like boarded up. Damn. And we know there exists a basement. Maybe. Huh. So that's much lower down. Those areas down there. So if we could get to the basement, it might open up there. So maybe if we had the basement key, this would turn into a door? No, there's not even a door. You can kind of see motion behind the boards. So there's just boards. So like an axe or a sledgehammer might get us in here, maybe? I don't know. I just don't know enough. But boy, is this game interesting. And then we also had this nonsense over here, where everything just goes super dark for some reason, and you can't... You've sort of reached like an invisible wall, or something blocks you from moving forward at some point. I really can't see anything here. Yeah, I'm trying to move backwards, and I'm just blocked. I don't know exactly by what, but I guess there could be a door around the edge. Something I could open with a key on the edge here. That I just can't see it, maybe? No, I don't know what to do with this existence. There is the one circuit breaker that doesn't have a switch in the breaker room. Maybe if we could find it and stick it in, maybe that would light up and we could see what was going on in there. I'm not sure. God, there's so many things I'm not sure about in this game. All right, so there's no other rooms out here aside from the hovel that we can open with a key. We need other ways to open things, so I don't know how any of that works. And we're going to go back inside and continue the day. I don't see any other choice. All right, we're burning through steps at a pretty serious rate here, and we're now going to have rooms that cost us steps instead of gems. So we're on the lookout for step improvements. All right, we've only got one exit right now. So we need, ideally we'd like 2 exits here, to the north and to the east. Let's see what we get. All right, so mail room is a dead end that ends the run. Corridor always unlocked. Commissary is a dead end. I don't really have a choice here. If I want to continue the run, I have to use the corridor. So let's do it. I feel like I'm getting pretty crummy drafting choices today. Everything's been blocking me from progress, or from everything's been locking me out of what I want to do, really. Road and rod here. Road and rod for sure. Let's get these involved in our test. So that's here, I think. Is that middle 3? Yeah, okay. So there's road and rod. You take this and plop it here. I think I'll rotate it just so it's a little bit more similar to. So we got road and rod here. I want them to match a little bit more. I guess that's fine-ish. Road and rod. And that goes in this square. Okay, that's good. And we go back to the game. Okay. I think I'm right about this. We'll have to wait to another day to see. And I guess I should just let this go for now, except if I'm right, we want to fill in every single grid square. And I'd rather do it earlier than later, so we're going to continue, I think, with this project until it's either proved useless or proved correct. Do you actually not see anything there? Because I see a lot of boxes. No, I mean, I saw if you're talking about the dark hallway outside, I saw the boxes, but I couldn't, like, open them or interact with them or get past them. All right, we need some exits here. Come on. Good draft. Good draft. All right, we got the drawing room, which I wanted to check out anyway. Yeah, let's go for the drawing room here. Okay, so first of all, we're going to try your safe idea, D2. Well, first of all, we're going to look and see if there's any pickups here. And there are not. There are, however, these. What is this? Sage? And is that sage? I'm guessing that's sage. I don't actually know what sage looks like. I'm not a plant person. Pila might know. She often seems to know things about plants. go ahead and grab this. Move it a little bit closer. Well, that's a bad grab. There we go. Moving a little bit closer to the sage. I think this is stage and sage, is what this is meant to be. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we had that clue. I'm going to go look at that real quick. It was the red memo that said the safe code. Yeah, safe code 9083. So if it's not 9083, what does that mean? Let's just try 9083 first and validate that that's wrong. At least for this safe. 9083. Enter. Yeah, okay, so it's definitely not 9083. So what could that give us? Like, how would we have arrived at 9083, and what would be the flaw in the logic? How many... How would we get a 0? The number of people facing to the right? That would be a 0, but it wouldn't be the second one. I wonder if it's not the pictures. I wonder if it's something to do with the frames. Because if you notice, there's two different types of frames. One looks slightly darker than the other because it has the carvings. The other one looks like a lighter gold, like the boy here, the picture, because it doesn't have the carvings. So like the lighter frames, there's 3 here. It's sort of hard to tell, but 2, 3, 4. No, there's still carving on it. It's just lighter. I don't think it's the frames. How would we get from here to 9083? How would we do that? If I continue to feel like the fact that the portrait has us seeing this, that the item was here. I mean, maybe my assumption is wrong. It has nothing to do with the sketches at all, but... Huh. We did have... The groundskeeper did leave kind of a weird number clue. If I go look at that. Pictures, screenshots. Yeah, 45292. 45292. I don't think this is it, but 45292. No, that's not it. I can't for the life of me think how I would get to any of those numbers here. Like, I still think that this wall represents the first number. So we have one framed picture, one large framed picture of a man facing left. And the memo, the red memo says 9 is not the right number. So then what? Is 9 the inverse? Like start from 0 and count down instead of counting up? Then 1, this would become 1 instead of 9. So 9083 would become 1, 0, 2, and then you count down to get to 3. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7? No. I still don't understand what this is. Hold on, maybe the thing that's wrong about that, I guess it could be the thing that's wrong about that is that that is a code, but it's not for the safe. I was assuming the number was wrong, but maybe the other part of the message is wrong. Maybe I should have tried 9083 on the padlock. Is that worth doing? 1, 2, 3, 4. It seems like a lot of steps to spend for what is probably wrong. I still don't understand this room. Man, that's irritating. Okay. We'd like to get something heading south. We do have a free redraft here, so we'll check out what's available. All right, so mailroom is a dead end. We can't build that. Parlor heads north. Commissary does head south and has items for sale. You know what? This is interesting. I think we actually ordered some running shoes last time. So let's build this. Okay. Now then. We've seen this. Now, these have changed. With and without has changed here. I'm not sure what these would be. Because it seems like match and then pine or tree or... Now we have with and without. Are there other sketches in here? No. This machine is still not powered on. It's not been repaired or powered on or whatever. Dirigiblocks. I think I read a note that said this game is coming in a patch. So this might not be related to the actual mysteries of the mansion. It might be that the developer of Blueprints hasn't actually implemented this yet. Maybe. Yeah, this I'm not sure what to do about. With, without. With, without. And then flame and fir. Flame and fir. Flame and fir. Fir tree. That's what it is. It's flame and fir, I think. Okay, flame and fir could work. And where is this on the map? To the right of the drawing room. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it goes here. Let me move the fur up a little bit. There we go. We'll do something like this. Flame and fur. I think that's actually right. I think that's the only way it makes sense. If it represents letter F. Oh, that one's nice. Nope. We'll do it like this. Okay, yeah, that works. That's just fine. All right, back to the game. Yeah, I think we ordered... Yeah, there's our running shoes. All right, let's see how much these cost and what they do. All right, so it is going to cost everything for us to get these. But because we're low on steps and rooms cost steps, I'd love to get the magnifying glass, but we can't afford it right now. We might be able to come back. The sleeping mask would also be good, but let's see. We've never had these before. Let's find out what they do. Okay, occasionally save steps when traveling longer distances across the estate and grounds. Okay, so if I quickly pass through multiple rooms, I guess, that's when this would proc. That's when this would kick in. But it's not really super great. It doesn't, like, routinely save me anything. Okay. But hey, We picked it up, and we have the watering can as well. What does this do? Entering green rooms? All right. So, yeah, things are running. We've learned some new stuff, for sure. Permanent additions is the Westgate path to the outer room, which this time we built the hovel. Running low on resources, but such is life. Okay. We need an exit here to continue. Like, everything... Yeah, we have no other exits, so we need something here. The foundation does not reset each day. Ooh, that is interesting. And it's 3 exits. Does not reset each day. Now, I also want to build the library. That would be a dead end, but it would get us the book. Observatory would be a dead end too. So the only thing we can afford to build here is the foundation anyway. I guess we're locking it in whatever this square is. Now, the problem is, I don't know if there's going to be sketches in here, and I don't currently know. I don't think they would let this completely block you from learning the value that should go in this grid, if my guesses about all this are correct. All right, yeah, this is interesting. Does not reset each day. Let's build the foundation. Really cool. Okay. The cornerstone of the house, unvarying and unchanging, the foundation is one of the only constants in the estate on which you can truly rely. This natural cavity was hollowed directly out of the mountain itself, with its stone and earth walls displaying an underlying coarseness that the rest of the mansion conceals. Type permanent. There's 8 outer rooms. Where would the foundation be? It doesn't appear at all? Huh, okay. I don't see any sketches, which is alarming. Maybe we don't get to know what the sketches were for. Maybe I'm wrong about the whole grid cell thing. Oh, look at this. Look at this. There's like a freight elevator that goes down into a hole in the ground. How do we power this thing on? And there's a dirt patch there, if we had the shovel. Huh. So yeah, no grid cells here. I'm not sure what that means. Or no sketches here. So we might be locked out of what this grid cell would be forever? Not sure if that makes sense. Alright, well, there doesn't appear to be anything we can do right now in here. I can't... There's no buttons or anything to interact with that. There's nothing to interact with. But I guess this is permanent now, so if we can get to either of these squares, we know we have these other exits guaranteed. We can't get there from below, but if we come from the left or the right, we can go north. Huh. Okay. So this is going to take me east. All right. So the mailroom is a dead end. The parlor is a pseudo dead end. The patio is the only way to go here. We do get a free gem from entering this green room, I believe. Use the watering can. Okay, so we get 1 gem. There's another. The dirt patches. Yeah, nothing else going on here. All right. The run might be kind of over here. I don't know. We'll find out. Nook and Chapel. No, Nook is a dead end. Security and Chapel are both viable here. Problem with security is getting out of this door. We have a key. We did build the utility closet, so I turned the key card doors off. All right, yeah, we'll go into security here. All right, so let's start by managing the, well, 1 safe deposit key. What is that? And where did I miss it? It appeared on the first one. You missed it? What appeared on the first what? I don't remember what I was saying when you typed whatever that's an answer to. Somehow I missed the safe deposit key. That's friggin' infuriating because I don't know what that is. All right. Let's go to the keycard system. We want high. And we want unlocked. The foundation? There was something in the foundation that I missed? Okay, I'll have to go back to that. Let's log into the network and check our mail. There could be more than one password here. Oh, that's right. I have to do it at the office. Okay. So you're saying I missed the key in the foundation? The security, the safe deposit key? You was searching it in room types. Oh. Oh, look. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Thank you very much. So it's okay. It is there. Well, I just wasted a step. Where is this safe deposit key? I want that to know what it is. Then again, we haven't exactly found a safe deposit box to put the key in, so... Alright, I'm burning through steps that I really can't afford here. I should grab this, I think. So... Dunes... I mean, that's an ampersand. What would this be? I'm not sure about this one. I don't know how to interpret this. Dunes? Sand and? Yeah, I don't know about this one. Where are we? So now we're at 4-4 or 4 up from the right. I might have... No, okay. Sand and dunes and... symbol, sand and symbol, maybe? Maybe sand and symbol. That could work, maybe. Oh, is this the safe deposit key? Gosh darn it. I wasted those steps. It's literally right here. Okay, you found a safe deposit key. A safety deposit box key. Vault key 149. Where is that for? We are rapidly running out of steps here. I need some kind of step support. What can we build? We have our package from the mailroom, but it keeps giving me this, but it's a dead end. And I keep getting... Maybe we build the chapel here. Maybe that way we have 2 exits and I can afford a dead end or something. Laboratory would also be good. You know what? I'm going lab... Well, no, it's costing me steps. Yeah, let's go chapel to get a spare exit here first. I know that's going to cost me my last piece of gold, but so what? What am I going to spend that on? 1 gold? Nothing. All right, let's head west first. Hopefully we can get another 2 exit room. Kitchen has food for sale. Only 1 exit. Hallway doesn't really help us. Yeah, either way we're going north, so I have no money. So food for sale doesn't help me. I mean, we learned a lot this run, but it's dwindling quickly. Either way, we're going north, so I might as well get something out of the parlor. Oh, and then before we transition, are there sketches in this room? I don't think so. I've never seen sketches here, so... I mean, obviously there's the stained glass. But if we need to know what belongs on a given grid square, we can't get anything from the chapel here. You know what else I should have been writing down is... I'm going to take a screenshot of the blueprint before the end of the day, and then I'll add which rooms had which sketches to my thing that I'm making. Yeah. Okay. Into the parlor we go. Running real low on steps here. Run is coming to a close. Oh, there we go. There's some money. Coin purse. Okay, not actually money, just interest if we find money. All right. Let's solve the puzzle, get our gems, and keep trying. All right, the black box contains the gems. If that is true, then that has to be false. Wait, no. Yeah, it could be that this is true and this is false. What about the white box? This box and the blue box are empty. That would be true. So it could be true, true, false. What if we say this is false? If that's false, and that's false, then this would have to be true. If this is true, then that's true. And that's false? Wait a minute. Okay, so hold on. We know that that's false. Black has to be false, which means one of these has to be true. So if that's true, and that's true, that works. If that's false, then this one has to be true. And that can't be the case. No, wait. Yeah, if that's false, then one of these two boxes has to have the gems. Yeah, so this has to be true, which means that, yeah, okay. There we go. That one was a little harder. All right, we got one more. We keep getting dwindling down to one exit left. All right, so closet's a dead end. Billiard room continues onward. So does the observatory. I think we definitely go observatory here, even though it costs us 3 steps. Now, somebody wanted me to mess around with this thing. Oh, did I forget to get the sketches? I forgot to get the sketches in there. All right, the run's basically over anyway. I'll go back and get the sketches. All right, so... Wait, have we seen this somewhere else? I feel like we've seen this somewhere else. Hang on. We did see this somewhere else. I have to figure out where, but... I think we decided this was chart and cart? Or chart and coal. Either way, it's a pair of C's. And it's in what room? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. It goes here. All right. All right. I mean, yeah, we did see that pair before. Hang on. I need to double check through my clues now. There was something with those two in particular. Wait. Nope. It was, I think it was in a security room. It was something in the security room, I think. Yeah, here, chart and cart, with, without. Oh. So chart has an H. Cart does not. Maybe that's something? That would explain clock and lock, but not a lot of the other ones. With, without. Wait, let's look at these. Beads and bar. With, without. Prayer, bar. Queen, so diamond, spade, pine, and pin. Like, it could work for this pair, because then this would be an E, right? Pine and pin. But then what do you do for something like queen and ace, or diamond and spade? I guess this could be left and right for the hands holding the cards, but I don't know about that. We've got bridge and bride. That one works. Because it's G, right? You take bride, you add a G, you get bridge. You take stars, you add an I, you get stairs. So some of these it actually works for. This could maybe be not something other than crowbar or bar. I guess it could be tool or pry and then prayer. I don't know about that. Some of these it works for, though, like road and rod. This could be an A. Oh, this is really fascinating. Okay, I think it is important for us to record all these things and figure out what they mean. Okay, back into the observatory. Running low on steps here. You've seen this before, and they had two sticky notes. One was with, and the other one was without. Yes, yes. Okay, good memory on you. I had to go look at things to figure it out. Here we have the stage. And is there another one in here? Stage and stag. Yeah, I'm seeing a pattern now. Okay. So, above the parlor, we have stage and stag. Here. I'm having problems with my my paint software again. You get rid of that. There's some weird memory thing going on with this thing where it doesn't. Maybe it's because I've got screen capture on. Hang on, let me. Oh, I'm still on the game. Maybe that's why. Here we go. No, it's giving me issues. There we go. So stage. I can't zoom in. It's giving me all kinds of problems. Close other tab. I don't have a lot open other than the game and OBS. And I closed the software and, well, I guess I could do something like paint. No, that doesn't. Yeah, see, I can get it to appear here. It's something with paint.net. I go back and grab this. Like this thing doesn't have, oh, it does have layers. Okay. I don't actually know how to use this. All right, that's sort of something. No. Okay. See, I'm not familiar with this program, and so I'm making all kinds of mistakes. There we go. Stage and stag. And then how do I collapse the layers? What does this do? Remove background. Generative erase? What? Okay. I just want this. Okay. And then if I open this and zoom in and place this, where does this go? Yeah, above the parlor. And then shrink it down like that. What? Yeah, there we go. I can fix the coloring later, I guess. Like I'm so used to... There we go. I guess I can just do that for now. It's not ideal, but at least we get it recorded. I don't know why. I don't know why Paint.net blows up sometimes and just stops working properly. I think it's because OBS is like interfering. Oh, let me put this back on the game so we have the game sound. Was there ever anything up here? I don't think so, right? No. And you had asked if I can move the thing around at all? I think somebody had asked if I can move this thing around at all after I look at the constellation. I don't think so, but let's see what happens. So we come in here, and constellation effects only trigger when clicked on. So what happens if I try and move something and then look through here? It should just be nothing, right? Yeah, I can't even look through it because it's not at the right place. There's no other opening for me to look through, as far as I can tell. I guess there's I guess if I lift this up, it could point at that orb thing on the ceiling. There's three kind of like orby things on the ceiling. I guess I could try looking at that. If I lower it further. No, I can't lower it further. So I can do like this. That'll slam into the ceiling there. Oh, interestingly, there's another thing on top of it. Well, now hold on. That is interesting. I think we can only get the 4-star constellation, but there may be something else we can do here. I can't look through it when it's elevated like that, but what about trying to walk on it? How far to the left will you go? Can I make it do something where I could walk on it? And look through that second tiny telescope? No, I don't want you to lift up. I want you to go down. And then more. How low will you go? You'll go to there. Okay. What if I... Oh, interesting. Now I can't leave. I can't interact with that stuff. Okay, let me mess around with this a little bit more. I'm not sure where I would want to put it to make this work, but Let's see how much we can manipulate it. Yeah, keep going left. Let's have you go left a lot here. Something like that is kind of interesting to me. The fact that it's clipping through makes me worried. It makes me think this is not actually what I'm supposed to be doing. I can lift it. But can I lower it more? No, it gets locked there. I was kind of trying to see if I could get on top of it, like stand on it somehow. But I don't think I can. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else we can do with it other than the obvious. I mean, I guess... Hold on. I guess we could try lowering it all the way. As long as it's not blocked by the balcony. I think it's blocked there, but we can check. You see the arrow next to your mic on the bottom right? Try closing some stuff there. Oh no, I've already been through that, believe me. You're talking about the mini tray, the system tray? I've already closed everything that I'm not using. Oh, look at this! What is this? Holy mackerel. Okay. Found something interesting. Found a little secret. I'm glad we tried to mess around with that. All right, very cool. You found a secret floor plan. Would you like to permanently add planetarium to your drafting pool? If you call it a day in a planetarium, gain 2 stars. Hell yes, I want to add this to my drafting pool. Awesome. Really cool. All right, let's take our 4-star bounty and then figure out where we're going from here. We've only got 7 steps left, so I'd love to just build the planetarium immediately. I doubt that'll happen for me, but it would be cool if it could. One more. There we go. Okay. All right, we got a free diamond. Not amazing, but, you know, it is what it is. All right. So we still got 1 exit. We got 7 steps. We use a key, sure. What do we want to build here? Nook is useless. I do want... You know what? I'm going to go for the library here. I want to get the book that I ordered. Now, it said something like 1 to 2 days, but it might be here. Oh, I did get a free step there from my sneakers, I guess. There's a coupon book here? Okay. Save a coin. I have 0 coins, so it does nothing for me. And then, okay, we've got some sketches for this room. We haven't been in these northern rooms very much. So some of these combinations I haven't seen before. Let's see. Paint and plane, maybe? Or earth and sky, or... flight. I don't know what... I'm not sure about this one. Let's see if paint wants to work right now. No. It's like the system buffer gets completely screwed and I can't see anything. Maybe what if I tab away and come back? Does it update? No, it's just not working at all. Okay. Well, all right. So I'm just gonna have to screenshot these and fill in the thing later once I restart my computer or whatever. All right. So we got the library here, and the painting of the earth The globe and glide, maybe? Globe and globe and... I don't know what this one would be. But that's from the library. Okay. It looks like we did get our book on drafting. Let's take a look. Volume 3, Drafting Strategy. Architectural Digest, Volume 5. June issue, contents. The potential within... Yeah, there's lots of interesting stuff here. We also have a date. Today is November 13th of 1993. Interesting. And Kimberly Thompson, who was the lab assistant, the new hire at the lab, apparently she checked this out last month. Really interesting stuff. Okay. Let's start reading. The potential within. We all start with an empty floor plan. To the ambitious young architect, a fresh blueprint represents a world of boundless possibilities. When you are staring at a blank canvas, you have unlimited potential and ideas to explore. But with an abundance of options at your disposal, the architect can also become overwhelmed by the countless choices and decisions that need to be made. Should I draft a hallway or a closet? How many bedrooms do I need in my house? Is passageway really worth 2 gems? All these questions can compound, adding layers of complexity and stress to the design process. That's why it's even more important to develop simple and effective strategies that you can employ while drafting your house to ensure a successful project outcome. In this volume of Architectural Digest, we aim to provide architects with some of those strategies and even assist them in developing their own. All right, gems, gems, gems. Every architect needs them. Although many architects employ different strategies when developing their house designs, most of them agree with one guiding principle. Have gems while drafting. One of the most common ways architects draft themselves into a corner is by not having the resources they need when opening a new door. If you lack the gems to consider all 3 presented options, you may be forced to draft a room that you do not want. To avoid this predicament, focus on drafting rooms that grant you gems and prioritize acquiring gems as early in the day as you can. This approach is a surefire way to set yourself up for success. We already kind of figured that out. Readers submitted gem strats. Make sure you check for gems in the room you're in before clicking the door. I do this way too much, Alice F. Yeah, think about saving some gems for emergencies. Try to only spend them if I really, really need a room. I will never draft passageway on the first 5 ranks. It's a simple strat that has served me well. If you see gems for sale in any of the shops, buy them out. Don't pass up wine cellar, even if you're not thirsty. There's no so much thing as too many gems. I may have a bit of a problem. All right, okay. Planning your house, estate layout, and drafting. When you begin drafting a house, it's important to start each day with a solid foundation. Draft early ranks first. A very common mistake beginners make is drafting in a straight line north and ignoring the many unopened doors they have left behind in the entrance hall and the rooms of the early ranks. When these architects reach the higher ranks, they quickly discover they do not have enough keys or gems to continue. Their day usually ends by returning to the lower ranks to draft from the doors they skipped, only to find rooms and items that would have made all the difference if they'd been found earlier in the day. As the layout to the right demonstrates, even a path of rooms that snakes through the house and does not go in a straight line can also be structurally weak if you're leaving lots of unopened doors on the ranks behind you. By starting each day on a strong foundation of rooms on the early ranks, you'll have a much better chance of finding success when you eventually start heading further into the house. We already figured this out as well. So this book is not really providing me with what I'd hoped for, which was like a meta progression, like some kind of permanent benefit. But we can keep reading it. Top drafting combos. Combos you won't want to miss. Another aspect to consider when planning your house is the order in which you draft rooms. For instance, if you draft cloister before terrace, you will be down 3 gems. But if you draft them in the reverse order, cloister would be free. Identifying a synergistic pair of floor plans is an essential first step, but determining the optimal order for drafting those rooms will provide you with an additional advantage, significantly improving your chances of success. I actually only learned about the terrace the other day, and obviously you want to build that first. That makes sense. Other floor plan combos. Foyer. Hallway doors are always unlocked. Oh, this I did not understand at all. So this is actually the first real benefit that this has given me. I thought when I built the foyer, it meant this door was always unlocked. This is saying it applies to all doors in hallways. That's incredible. I absolutely am super grateful that I read this now. So a foyer drafted before a great hall would mean that all of its many doors would be unlocked. That's fantastic. I so needed to know that. Nursery bunk room, we already figured out. Office and conference room. We haven't actually built the office yet, but I understood that. You won't have to constantly backtrack to collect your gold spread from office if you draft a conference room. Yep. Attic and workshop. The more items you have, the greater your chances of being able to create a contraption workshop. So there are limits to what you can combine. That was a question I had about this. I did want to build the attic this run, but didn't get a chance to. All right, making a connection. Two-pair combos aren't the only form of synergy. You'll find some floor plans only work by drafting other specific rooms. These rooms aren't powerful on their own, but can become very useful when their connectivity is eventually discovered. The utility closet is a perfect example of this. It doesn't do anything by itself, but it can literally power up or down other rooms you have drafted in your house. Garage powers the garage door and grants west path access. Dark room turns light back on after blowing a fuse, we knew. Gymnasium turns lights off to prevent step loss. We knew all of that. Other examples of connectivity. Her ladyship's chamber. I don't think I've had a chance to build. I don't think I've even seen this yet. The next time you enter a boudoir, gain 10 steps. The next time you enter a walk-in closet, gain 3 gems. Yeah, I haven't even seen this as an option to draft yet. By the way, did I correctly return? Yeah, okay. So we'll definitely want that. The boiler room we kind of knew about. Here it tells us something I didn't know, which is that laboratory, garage, laundry room, furnace, and pump room all have uses for steam power. That I did not know. I'm glad I know it now. Speaking of pump room, this room controls the water level throughout rooms in the estate and can interact directly with the pool, aquarium, greenhouse, kitchen, and several other features located outside of the main house. What would it do in the kitchen? Or the aquarium, for that matter? Or the greenhouse? Okay, that one's kind of interesting. So it was definitely worthwhile requesting this book. Tips and tricks. In the kitchen, you can check which course is being served in the dining room that day. Right. That's helpful. Besides counting as 2 bedrooms, bunk room also counts as 2 rooms. This will increase the amount of steps granted by master bedroom, which we haven't seen yet, the amount of gold spread by the tomb, the amount of keys found in the servants' quarters. Yeah, I didn't know any of that. Each time you solve a puzzle in the billiard room or parlor, the difficulty will increase slightly the next time you draft that room. That's fine. Just because you didn't find any items in a room when you first explored it, doesn't mean that will be the case the next time you draft it. Sure, understood that. The day after drafting freezer, we haven't seen freezer, it enters an automated cooldown refreezing cycle during which it cannot be drafted for the next 24 hours. Okay. If you're stuck or don't know what to do in a specific room, sometimes it's smart to move on. There are multiple ways to solve many of the challenges you will come across, and there's a very good chance you will find a piece of information down the road which may help. When in doubt, draft rooms you've never seen before. Yeah, that makes sense. Word from the editor. Although with this volume we've provided our readers with many potential strategies and tricks to try, we here at Architectural Digest hope that aspiring architects know that there truly is no set blueprint for success. Forging your own path and coming up with your own unique strategies will, in our humble opinion, always provide the best results. Each architect has his own favorite room, each builder his own favorite tool. And thus each player, in turn, will develop their own style of play and can discover their own secrets and tricks that they can share with the world or keep to themselves. Whatever strategy you employ, we wish you the best of luck drafting and hope you build the house of your dreams. Okay, pretty solid book there. We can't request another book until another day, I think. So we'll have to build the library again. Yeah. Let's progress. We still have 7 steps and an exit, so let's see what we can do. Okay, here's something new. Chamber of Mirrors. You can now draft second copies of rooms you already have in your house. So here's the problem with Music Room. If I draft it, that leaves me with 1 step. And then if I step inside, it'll immediately call it a day. I won't be allowed to explore it. So as much as I would like to build this right now and find out what the difference is between a major key and a minor key, I literally can't. Chamber of Mirrors has no exit, but we could, for example, if I had another exit, I could use this to draft like a second observatory, or what else would be good? Like, not a lot. It doesn't really help me today. I guess we gotta go to secret passage here. Yeah. Okay, let's do secret passage. And we've got paint and pint, I think. Paint and pint. Yeah. I'm seeing a pattern with the sketches now that I didn't see before. We'll go for gold sink here. And pop into this next room. This should be some sort of hallway. Oh, it's a gold room. Kitchen and laundry room. If we build them, we can't walk, so we'll check out the showroom. Special cost bypassed. Okay. We haven't seen this ever before, so this is a new one. An array of jewelry display cabinets showcasing an impressive selection of high-priced items, each unique and one of a kind. This exclusive collection is not for the faint of purse. A rare shop costs 2 gems for some reason. Showroom. Emerald. 60 gold! Wow. Emerald bracelet. Ornate compass. Wait, does this... It doesn't tell me what it does. While drafting, you may rotate the first 3 floor plans you draw. Well, that's amazing. Would this be permanent or a one-time purchase? I would love to have that. Chronograph. While drafting, you may rewind time after drawing new floor plans. You're more likely to draw time tomorrow rooms while drafting. I don't know what that means. Oh, rooms that have an effect tomorrow. Okay. And then silver spoon. Whenever you gain steps from eating, you can gain twice that many steps. Wow. Okay. Well, the showroom's definitely definitely pricey AF. For sure. Unless those are permanent, I'm not sure I would ever see the value in like buying them. We've got our 2 pictures here. What is this? It's kind of awkward, hard to see. Like hose and house, I guess? Hose and house? Yeah. Okay. What is this? Oh, it's the antechamber. And I haven't opened it, so I can't get in. So that's the run then. Yeah. I only have 2 steps left anyway. There's no point trying to get anywhere. And that's everything I can do today. I mean, all right, so we learned a lot, for sure. And I got a good start on trying to figure out what the sketches mean, I think. But unfortunately, there's nothing else we can do. I wish I knew what this vault key was for. I guess we have to find the vault first. We probably have to find the vault and draft it. I'm really excited about finding the secret floor plan in the planetarium, or for the planetarium in the observatory. That was pretty cool. What else did we do? We managed to get outside for the first time, the west path. What else was new today? The foundation we built, and I guess this is going to be here tomorrow. We found out what running shoes do. That's kind of about it. Oh yeah, we got the hovel, the outer room, and learned about the outer room stuff. So yeah, lots of cool stuff. I wonder if I should start each day by building the outer room first, because it seems like it has a benefit. But that's going to have to be it for today. Let's see our summary here. What does the game call what we built today? A rustic villa. So there's our day 7 result. I'm really enjoying the game because it's doling out little pieces of information. There's something new to learn or do every single run. It's really fantastic. The runs take a while. I mean, the stream here was 1 hour and 50 minutes to get through this run. But I mean, you know, you're carefully examining each room. You're reading lots of documents and looking at clues. I was probably spending a lot more time today building out the start of my grid than I would be on subsequent days, but like each day takes at least an hour if you're careful about it. So it's going to take me a while to get through this, but that's okay. It's a really fun and really interesting game. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. D2, Compboy 100, Pilachu. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Anybody watching the VOD in the future, hope you're enjoying my exploration of this mysterious mansion. And I hope to see you guys in a live stream sometime. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.